begin with breaking news tonight. On the day, a Baltimore police detective is laid to rest. Another officer shot in the hand in South Baltimore. WJZ is live. George Solis was at the scene as the officer was rushed to the hospital. George, what else have we learned tonight?
Good evening, Vic. Well, the scene a bit too surreal for many in this community, and officers, many of which who hadn't even changed out of their uniforms after attending the funeral for murdered BPD Detective Sean Suter. Police Commissioner Kevin Davis telling us that upon receiving the call, he thought the worst, and again, he's calling for a crackdown of illegal guns on city streets. An uncomfortably familiar scene in South Baltimore as police descend on the 800 block of Bridgeview Road in Cherry Hill for reports of a shooting. Baltimore City Police confirming that an officer had been shot in the hand after two officers encountered a suspect that turned out to be armed. A struggle then ensued. Police Commissioner Kevin Davis saying the officer, who's not being named, was thankfully not seriously wounded, taken to a nearby hospital before eventually being transported to shock trauma.
The gunman discharged one round, and it struck one of our two police officers in the palm of his hand, close to the meaty area. It's a through-and-through gunshot wound. It's non-life-threatening. He's going to be okay.
Commissioner Davis saying the second officer was able to fire his taser at the gunman.
Because of that discharge of the taser, we were able to safely apprehend him, handcuff him, and recover the firearm. And again, it's all captured on body-worn camera.
Members of this community tell us the timing of this shooting could not be any worse, as hours earlier, BPD Detective Sean Suter was laid to rest.
Nobody deserves this. Everybody just want to go home to their families.
This woman says she attended the funeral.
I went there today, as a matter of fact, so it's sad.
Outside shock trauma, Mayor Catherine Pugh also delivering remarks after visiting the wounded officer, echoing what she said at Detective Suter's funeral.
When officers leave their homes, their families' hearts go with them because they pray that they get to come back home, and fortunately this officer will get to go home.
Now, we do know that the officer is 30 years old and apparently in good spirits. The commissioner telling us that he made jokes that he didn't want to be put on desk duty. As for the suspect, police tell us he was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries associated with being tased. Live in Cherry Hill tonight, George Solis reporting for WJZ.
George, thank you. And of course, WJZ will continue to provide updates on this breaking news throughout the morning and online at WJZ.com.